Hey, just going to do a shave using this Boar brush all of August, breaking it in. Start it soaking. That's my way of getting it wet before the shave. I have added 2 teaspoons of water to the top of my Williams puck that is inside this mug. The box it came in kind of looks like this. It's been around for a very long time, since 1840. So lots of people have used it. The blade we're going to use is a Nacet, and it's 15+3, so it's got 18 shaves on it. Definitely the farthest I've taken a blade so far. Still doing really well. So this will be the 19th shave. The razor we're going to use is this Blackland Dart. It's the machined version, also called the matte version. It's got machining marks that you can definitely make out on the head there, and also underneath the head. Can I make it? There, maybe there you can see. So there we go. In a few months, the polished version is going to come out. You want to save a little money? I've discovered that if you get a Dremel tool or something like that with a buffing wheel and some finishing compound, you can turn this into, you can polish it yourself. All right, let's shave. We're ready to go. It's got the Nacet in there already. The post-shave product that we have is Afta Fresh. It does have parabens in it, and there might be some studies about that, plus UVB rays might age your skin or something like that. Otherwise, I might have to investigate that further, but I'm liking the way it feels so far. And it's inexpensive, so we'll see what I think about some of those ingredients as to whether I buy some more of it. Get my face wet. But it's kind of an old school creation, and I thought that would be appropriate with the Williams. All right. Brush has had a couple minutes to soak. Sling the water out of it, so it's just a moist brush, and I'm going to load for 60 seconds, and we'll wait till it turns to the 10 mark, and there we go. I shaved with this yesterday, and I'm going to reproduce the same shave, except yesterday's soak or bloom of water on the soap was about 20-25 minutes, because I came in and did it, and then I just kind of went out and did something. Then I came back, I meant it for it to be a 12-minute soak, but that didn't work out. Technical difficulties and whatnot, and so this soak is going to be just the start of the shave. Almost done with a minute here, and that's a minute. All right, we'll see if there's any advantage or disadvantage or difference to a 25-minute soak versus a 4-minute soak. And actually, we can go ahead and go right at it, since I already put water on my face. So yesterday I used 2 teaspoons of water on the soap. And what happened was, and I'm getting kind of a similar lather right now, just a light lather that's probably a little too airy. And it was a little too thin for the first pass. but the second and third passes were terrific. Yeah, yesterday I had one jumper too. I'm trying to work maybe some of the air out. Now let's just kind of switch to painting and see what happens. All right, leave a little bit of the lather on the brush, and then I collected a little, conserve it just a little because the I'd rather not have to go back to the puck on that third pass if I don't have to. All right, looks thin, but let's try it. Yeah. Not protecting very well. Kind of rough. Thing is, it was thin yesterday too. It wasn't this bad. But that was just for the first pass. And the second pass and the third pass had a great creamy lather. Just terrific. And so in trying to figure out how to better that particular lather, I didn't really know where to go because I was pretty sure if I alter the formulation to make the first one better, I mess it up for the second and third. I don't know, but we'll try stuff anyway. Well, that was a little bit of a rough shave. You rinse it off. All right, so that was definitely a little more rough than yesterday. Let's go ahead and see what we have on here. See if the soaking really matters. Some people say just load for longer, so that maybe that's something else to try instead of soaking. Some people just kind of opposed to blooming soaps. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good, I don't think this is going to go 3 lathers like the one yesterday did. Who knows? This is very thin. This is probably the kind of lather that people get from Williams and they're like, this sucks, I'm never getting this again. Good news is it's just a couple of dollars. Although, you know, I've seen on eBay people trying to sell Williams pucks for $10 or $15 each. It's crazy. Definitely don't go buy eBay stuff until you know what you're doing and know what good prices are. Okay, I'm also gonna save a little bit of the lather. I mean, look, I guess there's enough for that next pass. You just kind of got to work it. Doesn't look good. All right, this is the second pass, and so I am doing a angle with my handle that's going to be a little closer to the skin, and that will turn the razor into something a lot more free of irritation. I've been getting really close irritation-free shaves all month with this thing, and it's an aggressive razor. Maybe 7 out of 10. But if you change that, bring that handle in, and if you've got a good lather, not like this one, then that angle change will turn it into a more like a 5 out of 10 maybe. Or maybe change it from an 8 to a 6, that might be. You know, which is kind of cool. It's like having a automatically adjustable razor. By changing your handle angle, you get whatever you need. Nice solid cutting feeling. Do it right, you don't get any irritation, and yeah, you still have a blade feel. You still feel like, hey, I just shaved. There are some smooth razors out there, and you might like those. But there's something to be said for having a pulling the blade across your face and having to do a good job. Alright, leave it a little bit of water on my face just in case there's some more soap in here that needs to mix with the water for the third pass. If I had a bowl, I would have the same consistent lather for all 3 passes, but I'm not a great face latherer, so don't really pay too much attention to my face lathering technique in terms of how to get the soap to last through all 3 passes or whatever. I haven't honed that up yet, so it's coming on really light, but let's just watch it. And what may happen is some of the water might evaporate here, leaving behind a nice creamy layer. And see, we are still getting some soap around the sides of the brush here. That's what I was hoping for. So it looks like that 1 minute load might be getting me enough soap in the brush, but the lather is so thin. It's really slick. Even after the first pass, I felt they're just really slick, but this just must be a case where just slickness by itself does not equal comfort in terms of a good shave. Now this is shaping up. I don't know whether there's just more soap in the brush, and me, by kind of working it, it's starting to exude that good lather that's in there. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Maybe this will be my most comfortable pass yet, but I really kind of wanted the first 1 or 2 to be comfortable. All right, how about that? After that first pass, I didn't really expect there to be enough lather for the third. Really slick here. Nice glide. This is finally a lather that I would have wanted to achieve. Too bad I'm getting it at the very end. Be interesting to see if the first 2 passes cause any irritation. Or if they roughed up my face enough to where the third pass is going to cause irritation. It doesn't really feel too bad right now. Watching the angle. This is my trouble area. Very light pressure. Good. Very nice. I'm going to rinse. Enough hairs are left right here with tip length. I'm going to go ahead and put down a little bit of lather and do a touch up. All right, that's as good as it's going to get tonight. Mandatory for me, in my skin. If you got tougher skin, it may not be necessary for you, but I have to bring my handle angle in a little bit on the second and any further pass after that. It's okay to have it kind of at the more normal 30 or 35 degree angle when I'm taking off that first layer. The first and most of the hairs there on that first pass. But if I keep that same angle, there's enough exposure here that really irritates my skin. If you have that same problem, then try what I do and bring that handle, instead of being out here, bring it a little bit closer, and then it manages that aggression. So hopefully that'll help you. I'm going to rinse this little touch-up area off. Well, I'm going to assume that it was the thin lather, crappy lather. Could have been my technique, but that little touch-up pass didn't really net me very much in terms of cutting down those hairs. But I don't want to bring up any irritation, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I mean, it could be that all of a sudden the Nacet Blade is taking a downturn, but it's been performing so well. I don't think so. We'll try a different shave tomorrow. And what I may try tomorrow is like a 1.5-minute load. See what happens. See if I can get some creaminess or something there. In a sense, it might be nice to have a routine where you didn't have to come in ahead of time and put some water in. So we'll see. We'll see. Looks like a 1-minute load is good for me with a 20-minute 20-minute soak. And big difference here was that the second pass of yesterday, the 20-minute soak version, it was creamy and very nice. Here it was thin, kind of like that first pass. The third pass yesterday with the longer soak time was a nicer, creamier lather. However, today's was still an enjoyable creamy lather, just not quite as much. So if I had to compare today and yesterday, obviously yesterday's the winner. But let's give it a little bit more soap load time and see what happens. But in a sense, I mean, I've still got soap on my brush, and so who knows? Maybe adding more load time might waste some soap. But if it gets me a little bit more creaminess, then that might be totally worth it, because it's an expensive soap anyway. I have hard water, just to let you know, and I do a cold water shave. Those might be things to know if you're maybe trying to duplicate what I was doing or just curious. So here's some Afta fresh scent. Let's see if I still think today that it kind of smells a little ladylike. It does have a little denatured alcohol in it, so I'll be able to tell if I maybe had some rough spots during my shave where my technique wasn't very good, or if my blade was starting to get rough. There were a couple of twinges somewhere over here, but they went away quickly, and generally no stinging here. This seems to hydrate my skin pretty well. And there we go. for just a few bucks. Not too bad. All right. Blackland razor suggests that when you're done, I'm going to shake it a little bit there. Leave a little air. Leave a little air gap there. Now I'm going to hold it with my thumb on the end so it doesn't rotate. Give it another shake to see if there are any droplets in there that need to come out. And just leave it like that. Stick it up and store it away for tomorrow. Safe not to have to mess with the blade. You don't risk cutting yourself, but you also don't risk losing the edge of the blade by rubbing it up against something, even lightly. These edges are just very fragile from what I've been told, and so you can dull them pretty easily if you're not careful. So this prevents both of those two things from happening. So, I don't know, maybe about day number 15 of using this soap. I almost get no scent from it while I'm using it. I can still smell a light, clean soapy scent when I stick my nose in it, but it is definitely faded. The first 3 or 4 uses were, the scent was quite strong, citronella, and it was a little too strong for me, but I'm really glad that it faded. Nice soap now. Just got to figure out a good formulation. So what I've discovered so far, I've been able to get a very good bowl lather, a casual bowl lather where you kind of dribble the water in slowly, and that keeps it from activating that really airy part of the lather, and you get creamy, nice lather. It's very luxurious and very slick. Rivals just about anything out there, even a $25 tub of cream. So in the notes, I'll have a best lathers section for this video, and you can find that formulation if you want. At some point I'll try to put in links to the days that have those formulations, so that if you find yourself on this particular day where it was kind of a failure, you'll be able to navigate over to something nicer. But in a way, it wasn't a failure because this is science and good data. Any data is good data. So we discovered something that wasn't all that optimal. I do hope I can stumble across something for Williams that helps you create a good lather quickly. That seems to be maybe the problem. I mean, this was a workable lather. But I probably would need to switch to a more smooth razor if I kept using this thin of a lather, because it just this might gradually aggravate my skin. Whereas a good protective, slick and cushiony lather like I've gotten before, this razor, I've done it every day of August without a problem, without any irritation. Let alone any irritation carried over, but usually I have no irritation after the shave. Right now I do feel just a little tiny bit, like a 0.5 out of 10, but it's good. My face is still being shaved very well, very happy with that in terms of my cheeks. I'm sure I've got some tips, a good many tips showing right here. It's a trouble area. If I could go against the grain down here, it probably would not be an issue at all. But I can't. I get too much irritation if I do that. This would probably be a baby butt smooth shave if I could go against the grain. So there we go. Little bit of a flop in terms of this is just not the best formula to use. But we'll keep playing around with it, and hopefully I don't get any irritation carried over, no flare-ups or anything like that, because the thinness of lather 1 and 2, pass number 1 and 2, 3 was pretty nice, but it's possible that the 1 and 2 did a little bit of irritating damage before 3 came along. That's the way it goes. All right, I've cleaned up already. I'm good to go. I hope there was something here for you. And we'll see. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.